The Plank, presented by Jeep, continues right now on ABC Action News Now.
And welcome back, folks. Tom Korun along with John Sabol as we move into the Ray Rice, tape gate, I like to call it.
I don't know who's this Ray Rice guy we're talking about. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, this is incredible. There's been so many dynamics to this story that has led into tonight, and now we have a new one. And let me put my binoculars on and read it to you here. This is according to ESPN that just is developing right now. Ray Rice told NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell on June 16th that he punched then-fiancée Janae Palmer in a casino elevator. That's according to 4 sources that have told Outside the Lines, an assertion that contradicts Goodell's statement this week that when he met with Rice and his representatives, it was ambiguous about what actually happened. That's what Goodell told CBS News in the interview the other night. Well, I also want, as I read on in this article, those 4 people, those 4 sources are close to Ray Rice. All right, so I'm going to take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
There are just so many things happening. This whole, well, we were just looking at the video right there, just absolutely disgusting. I saw it in its entirety. I've seen the newer video now, where it's shown that Ray Rice spit on her not once but twice.
Before they got in the elevator.
Once in the elevator, once before.
Right.
All in all, the bottom line of this is that the National Football League, in one way, shape, or form, has dropped the ball.
Of course.
And they are trying to save face here. Roger Goodell is the one that's under fire. And as more of these assertions come up, more heat's going to be put on the commissioner. But let me just say this. I want to know, and everybody wants to know these questions that the former FBI director, Mueller, is going to try and find out. Who is the person that sent that videotape supposedly to the NFL office? Who is the NFL executive that received that tape? And who is that NFL executive, a female, that left that 12-second voicemail on his recorder by saying, "Thank you for the tape. We've seen it. It's terrible." That's the quote, end quote. Who are these people, and can Mueller find out who they are?
Well, you got to think about this. If it's in a phone record, a voicemail, they can track those phone records.
Sure.
It shouldn't take them long, but investigations like this could take forever. And I find it interesting that it's an independent investigation, yet it's still handled by the NFL.
Well, I don't like the fact that Wellington Mara is involved in it. Art Rooney is. Those are a couple of cronies of Goodell. I like to have a guy like Jerry Richardson, who last night, the Carolina Panthers owner, who broke down talking about this very same thing in front of a large crowd in Charlotte, North Carolina.
When this story first broke, my first instinct was, man, this just obviously unthinkable, disgusting. But when the whole interesting information came out about Roger Goodell, I'm like, this is a little fishy. This is something that does not add up. If this comes out to be true, the NFL reputation is going to be changed forever. And it may not be able to get back to where it was. They've always said we need to protect the shield. Well, guess what? They're trying to protect the shield by a possibility of a cover-up if this is all true.
Okay, the number, if you'd like to chime in on this Ray Rice deal, 813-367-0171. It's 813-367-0171. Once again, the latest news coming from ESPN tonight. According to Outside the Lines, that 4 sources who are close to Ray Rice have made an assertion that Ray Rice did tell Roger Goodell back on June 16th that Ray Rice, did indeed punch his then-fiancée, Janae, in the face in that elevator at that Atlantic City casino. That contradicts exactly what Commissioner Roger Goodell told CBS News and has contradicted to everything that he's said publicly in every single conversation or tweet or press release that's gone out.
It just doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. And in the end, Roger Goodell could be the one coming out of here that looks the worst.
Well, someone's going to be the fall person. Now,
right now, fall guy,
I'll tell you, right now, I am not ready to send Goodell down the road.
Right.
Okay? I want some proof. I want some proof. And it's going to be difficult to get it because you can't subpoena this. You can't subpoena records. You can't subpoena people. Mm-hmm. They are going to say, as they quote unquote call it in the lawyer's business, lawyer up.
Right.
So they're going to have somebody and a lawyer next to somebody else by saying they don't have to answer this question. There's no reason we have to answer this question. We're not going to tell you anything. We're not obligated to tell you anything. While the NFL is saying, and some people believe that they're going to tell everybody in that office, whoever they talk to, that if they ask you, cooperate to your fullest. Well, there's no obligation by any of those employees that they have to do so.
Well, you and I were talking about this before the show about if this was your team, if you were the owner or if you were the general manager, what you would do. And explain to everybody the question of just putting them on the inactive list and how that is different. Because I know that has been a question that I've been reading on Twitter a lot lately. Why not just release them earlier or put them on the inactive list? Explain the difference there.
Okay, well, here's the deal. Number one is that the National Football League is and to give you an example, earlier today on ESPN, former Buccaneer general manager Mark Dominic was on.
He was.
Mark was explaining about a situation that happened with one of his former players, I believe Aqib Talib he was talking about, where he ended up finding Talib before the league had any say-so in what to do in any protocol. They called him and told him you can't do that. And he said to them, he says, what do you mean I can't do that? I've got a community right here that's outraged at what's going on right here. I have got to do something, and he did. And he did fine him, and the fines held. So the National Football League, they're power hungry. All right, they got to have their hands and manipulated and everything. They've got way too many people in that front office up there in New York in that ivory tower. The thing I'd like to know is if you're an NFL executive, all right, and believe me, I looked up to see how many female NFL executives.
How many were there?
6. And then one I found out ended up going to the not the Bears, the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Okay, so now there's 5 that are considered to be executive VP level. All right.
That we would assume would be that voice in that voicemail.
Right. One of them was in administration, 2 of them were in marketing, and another one was in promotion. Now, okay, who in their right mind, as an NFL executive, and I don't care what position you're in, would receive a tape that showed what Ray Rice did to his then fiance, and being a woman, not bringing that tape to Roger Goodell? I can't believe it. It's almost impossible. It's almost egregious. This way, I just don't understand how that scenario could possibly have happened. And this is what Mueller's got to find out. Did it happen or did it not? Is Goodell lying or is he telling the truth?
And,
all right.
And when you put it that way, it almost sounds like this story couldn't be true if, you know.
Now, if it is true, John, you've got a CEO of one of the biggest
a multi-billion dollar
company that doesn't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
All right, that people are keeping things away from him. Well, what does that tell you?
Well, it shows you that you're not running your organization really well and that you need to go.
It sure does. Okay, let's go to Jim in Newport Richie here before we go to break. Jim, thanks for calling the show. Appreciate it.
Hey, good. How you doing, guys? Hey, listen, you just kind of commented on what I was going to comment about. Maybe some folks protecting Goodell. You know, maybe he didn't know, but everybody else did. They were just trying to protect him. You know, like I said, you already kind of touched on that, but I'm kind of thinking, wonder if that's not it.
Well,
you know, was he maybe being protected?
In which way do you think they were trying to protect him by not showing him the tape?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know,
I've heard that argument before.
But it's nuts. That's freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Listen. First of all right, 2 things. Number one is that if I was Roger Goodell right now, okay, I would personally be doing a witch hunt through my building trying to find out who screwed me.
Right.
All right, if indeed that happened. All right. Number 2 is if I am the owner of the 49ers, all right, they have a player on there right now that McDonald. Okay, where does he go? Inactive list. Okay, Jerry Richardson, Carolina Panthers. They got Greg Hardy. This is a guy who has been convicted of 2 counts of domestic violence. 2, which means to me, if I look at it correctly in the new
he'd be banned
deal,
forever.
He's banned. Jerry Richardson needs to put him on the inactive list.
And that
right?
Jerry Richardson is the owner of the Panthers.
At the least. That guy was so shaken, and I look at that, and I go, I felt sad for the guy, and I thought, well, man, he's got a guy out there right now that's playing football, and he shouldn't be. But only because in North Carolina, there's a different law. They have their own little lawyerisms over there.
And that's what
gives him the avenue to be able to
exactly, and that's what people don't
row.
realize. If they say, oh, well, if he's already convicted, why is he still playing? There's different laws in different states that almost protects Hardy in that situation.
Well, to me, you know what? It protects him, but it doesn't say you can't inactivate him.
Right, and that's what we were talking about before.
That is a perfectly legal thing to do. You still got to pay him.
Right.
Okay, you got to pay him.
You have to pay him. If you put him on the inactive list, you pay him, but you don't play.
And not only do I pay him, I say, okay, while this is still going on, go home. Just like John Gruden did to throw me the damn football, Keyshawn Johnson. Remember that one? All right, 813-367-0171 is the number. And, of course, John?
Yeah, you guys can reach us on Twitter at @TKorn, WFCS, and then my Twitter handle, John_Sabol. You remember, we're right here on abcactionnews.com, The Plank, broadcasting live on the web. And remember, you can always call in. We're taking your phone calls all night long here, at least until 8 o'clock, 813-367-0171.
You can be here all night if you want.
No, I've been here since the morning.
I got another show I got to do in a few hours. All right, we're going to be back right after this.
The Plank.